Shalom, Yasharala. We'll start off first things first, giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashib, Yahweh Shah, Bahashir Rahakadash, which in the Paleo Hebrew tongues, correct names of the Holy Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone, and shalom to you, sister and brothers, living is true, and shalom to the brothers and sisters that's listening and studying and show themselves approved. Shalom. Now, we're going to go over a quick genealogy today. I feel like this is a good time to show brothers and sisters that, in light of everything that's going on with the Kyrie Irving situation, and everybody saying we not the people and all of that, I'm doing a quick genealogy to show that we can talk about those topics because we are the Shemitic people. And not only that, there are a lot of other nations that are also Shemitic. It's not Sem, it's Shem. Noah's son name was Shem. That's where that's coming from. That whole anti-Semitic rhetoric. They say Sem. It's Shem. So we're going to go to a quick genealogy. And I'm going to show you through the power of Yahweh Shah what nations come through the line of Shem and who that is. Because these devils, they use that term, they really lightly. And don't even say who the people are. With the celebrities, they said enough, but a lot of people ain't going to do their research. So we're going to show you. So I'm going to start off, first things first. We're going to go to Genesis 10:1. This is right after the flood with Noah, his wife, his 3 sons, and their wives. And it's going to show the names of his 3 sons. Because Shem is that one son who, that the Israelites came through. So check it out, this Genesis 10:1. Now these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth. And unto them were sons born after the flood. So with that, we're going to go all the way to the line. It's going to show who it started out with. It starts with Japheth first. Then it goes to Ham, which are like your Africans, your Hamites. That's why they call them Hamites. They descended from Ham. You got Japheth, which are like your Pacific Islanders, your Samoans, those nations of people. And it shows you right there, they was in Europe first before, Esau took over. Because you got Gomer and Magog and of that nature. So we're going to go down to, the children of Shem. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're getting to. That's what we want to highlight today. So it says the children of Shem, Elam, Asher, Aphodax, Lud, and Aram. It says the children of Aaron were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. And Aphosax begot Salah, and Selah begot Eber. And unto Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one son was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Loctan. And Loctan begat Almodad, and Sheleph, and Azamarath, and Jurath, and Haldoram, and Uzzah, and Diklah, and Obah, and Abimael, and Sheba, and Ophir, and Avilah, and Jabad. All these were the sons of Joktan. Yeah, this is just Joktan, or it might be Lockton, one of them. And then 30 it says, and their dwelling was from Misha, and thou shalt goest unto Sephar, a mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, and after their families, and after their tongues, and their lands, after their nations. So there goes Shem. That's that Shemitic line we're reading about right there. Now I want to get to, because we got to get to the important figures so you can really understand. I want to go to Genesis 11:11. So check this out. And it says, Shem lived, and after he begot Arphaxad 500 years, and begot sons and daughters, and Arphaxad lived 530 years, and begot Salah. And Arphaxad lived, and after he begot Salah 403 years, he begot sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber. And Salah lived, and after he begot Eber 403 years and begot sons and daughters. Eber lived 430 years and begot Peleg. So it's going back over it. So let me get down to Let me get down to Rue. And let's go all the way down to it. It says, and Rue lived 230 years and begot Serug. And Reu lived, and he begot Serug 207 years and begot sons and daughters. And Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor. And Serug lived, and after he begot Nahor 200 years and begot sons and daughters. And Nahor lived 9 and 20 years and begot Terah. Now that's a very important figure, because look who Terah begot. And Nara lived, and after he begot Terah 19 years, he begot sons and daughters. And Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. There goes Abraham. A very important figure, because Yahushua would say he's what? Let's go get there. Let's stop. Where we at? We're at Genesis 11:26, and let's go get this. Because that's a very, very significant, important person right there. That's down the line of Shem. Let's go to Exodus 4 and 5. And check it out. This reads, that they may believe that the Lord Yahweh of the fathers, the God of Abraham, we just peeped him out. His name was Abram, changed to Abraham. The God of Isaac and the God of Jacob have appeared unto thee. So let's go back to Genesis, because that was a very important, because he's going to get the blessing. Very important figure just got born. Boom. So it says, now these are the generations of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. And Haran begot Lot. There goes Lot. And some nations gonna come out of Lot too. Another figure, this, but the promised seed line didn't run through Lot. It's running through Abraham. And check it out. Where I'm gonna go to. Let's just keep on reading. 28. Lock you. I don't know why I do this when I start doing lessons now. So Satan is trying to stop this truth from going out. So check it out. We're gonna get to 28. And Haran died before his father Terah in the land of nativity in the Ur of the Chaldees. And Abram and Nahor took them wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarah, and the name of Nahor's wife, Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Iscah. But Sarah was barren, she had no child. And Terah took Abram his son, and Lot, the son of Haran, his son's son, and Sarah, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went forth with them from Ur of the Chaldees to go into the land of Canaan. And they came into Haran and dwelt there. And the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Now, we talking about Abram. When it start talking about really our forefather Abraham, that's that Shemitic line running down through there. Not only Abraham, but also Lot as well. Now, let's see, I think I want to bump down to 16. But I wanted to catch something. Let's see what it sounds 16. Yeah, I'll stay with that, because his name was still Abram. So check it out. This is Genesis 16 and 2. And Sarah said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go unto my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abram hearkened unto the voice of Sarah. So she was having, matter of fact, Salakia, let me start at 16 and 1, because you need to get her name. So check it out. This is Genesis 16 and 1. Now Sarah, Abram's wife, bare him no children. And she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, Hamite, whose name was Hagar. So keep that in mind with what we just read in the first one. So she told Abram to go into Hagar so that Hagar could have a child for her. Basically kind of like a surrogate type of thing, And so we're going to go to 3, and it says, and Sarah, Abram's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave to her husband Abram to be his wife. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. So she got mad. She looked like, shit, I had the baby. I should be the wife. She wanted Sarah's spot. So reading it, Sarah had her banished because of that. She kicked her out. And I wonder, should I read all of that? Or do we need to just get to the part? She got banished. Sarah kicked her out, which her name turned into Sarah. So I'm gonna start at 8 and go down. We're gonna go to Genesis 16 and 8. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 7. And the angel of the Lord found by her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way to Shur. And he said, Hagar, Sarah's maid, whence camest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress, Sarah. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Return to thy mistress, and submit thyself unto her hands. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, I will multiply thy seeds exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. And he shall be a wild man, his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. So check it out. That's Ishmael. Do you know who Ishmael is, Joshua? Ishmael is your modern day Middle Eastern Arab. That's Ishmael. Then you got another variant, the Indian, that's in India, Elam, who is just a variation of Ishmael. So those are your Arabians, your Middle Eastern people. They are Shemitic because they came down the line of what? Abraham. So they are Shemitic as well. So an Arab, they can't say an Arab's been, anti-Shemitic when he is Shemitic. So that's another group of people that are Shemitic. We just read right there. They came down that line right there. They came from Abram and the handmaid Hagar. The Egyptian, the Hamite. So now I see why Middle Easterns are just as dark as we are. Because they're Israelites. Well, now, Salakia, they're not Israelites. They didn't come from Jacob. But they came from Abraham, who was a dark man. They came from Abraham, who was dark. And they also came from a Hamite woman who was dark. So that's why Arabs, the true Arabs, they're just as dark, if not darker than we are. Now I understand that. Now it makes sense, And then, when you really think about it, like Edomites really don't like Ishmael either. They'll deal with them because their forefather chose those women to be wives, so they got to close ties, but they call them sand niggas. So there we got another group of Shemitic people, a whole nother nation that's running, to this day. Ishmael, Elam, the progenitor was born right there through Hagar, the Egyptian woman, the handmaid to Sarah, which is Sarah. So now that we see that, so now, look at that. Hagar bare Abram a son. Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. Abram was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. So check it out. This is what I want to get to. This is the blessing that Yahweh Bashal Shah made with Abram. So let's hit that and check it out. This is Genesis 17 and 1. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Lord appeared to Abram, saying unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. And I'll make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thy seed immediately. Abram fell on his face, and Yahweh talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be father of many nations. Neither shall thy name anymore be called Abram, but now thy name shall be called Abraham. For a father of many nations I have made thee. And that's true. That is so true. Abraham is the father of many nations. Because we just read right there. The Arabs, Ishmael, Elam, they come from Abraham. You got Israelites that come from Abraham. Lots of nations come from Abraham. It's very numerous, man. You got 12 tribes came out of Abraham. So I wanted to read that part to show that his name changed, and Yahweh made a covenant with Abraham at that point. You can read more about it. So now I'm about to skip, because we're going to get some other generations. Let's go to Genesis 19 and 30. where we're talking about Lot. And so the situation with Lot, he was in Sodom. You know, they were wicked. Yahushua sent 2 angels to get Lot and his daughters out of there. His wife looked back. She got judgment for that because she wanted them riches. She looked back. So that's their turn back, their drawback spirit. She got destroyed. So Lot got out with his 2 daughters. And we're going to kick off, you know, where they were staying at. So check it out. This Genesis 19 and 30. And Lot went up out of Zohar and dwelt in the mountain, and his 2 daughters with him. For he feared to dwell in Zohar, and he dwelt in a cave, he and his 2 daughters. And the firstborn said unto the younger, Our father is old, and there is not a man in the earth to come in unto us after the manner of all the earth. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. See, back then, women had a whole different mindset back then. Back then, having a baby was very, very important to a woman. I noticed in the modern day age, women don't want no baby. That's a burden, man. They'll go to the abortion clinic so quick. But I just know there was a whole different mindset back then. Like I'm gonna keep reading. Check it out. You just heard what they just said. They want a baby so bad, they gonna lie down with their father to have one. That's how serious. You see how Sarah dealt with Abraham. She couldn't have no baby, so she said, "Here, my maid, man, have a baby with my maid. That way you could preserve your seed." You know, it was that. Like a woman nowadays, I don't see doing that at all. So the mindset of women was way different back then than it is now. I can truly see that. We can see that through the scriptures. So check it. I'm gonna keep reading, and you hear what his daughters are trying to do with him. You know. So where was I at? I was at 32. It's Genesis 19:32. Come, let us make our father drink wine, and we will lie with him, that we may preserve the seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night, and the firstborn went in and lay with her father, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. And it came to pass on the morrow that the firstborn said unto the younger, Behold, I lay yesterday night with my father, and let us make him drink wine this night also, and go thou in and lie with him, that we may preserve seed of our father. And they made their father drink wine that night also, and the younger arose and lay with him, and he perceived not when she lay down, nor when she arose. Thus were both the daughters of Lot with child by their father. And the firstborn bare a son, and called his name Moab. The name is the father of the Moabites unto this day. Moab is your Chinese. All your ones in the Asian area, those Asian-looking people, the Moabites, that's them. That's their forefather. That's the progenitor right there. So guess what? They're Shemitic, because Lot came from the line of Shem. So those are Shemitic people. So an Asian person can say something about, you know, who the people is who ain't, and they really should not be labeled anti-Shemitic because they are Shemitic. We just proved it through the scriptures, genealogy. That's why the devil don't want to deal with the Bible, because you can trace lineages through our book. So I'm going to keep on reading. And 38 says, and the younger, she also bare a son, called his name Ben-Ami, and the name of his father, the children of Ammon, unto this day. Those are your Japanese. You know, you got your Japanese, you got your Chinese. The Chinese forefather is Moab, and the Japanese forefather is Ammon. Those are those nations to this day, man. So both of them are Shemitic people. Japan, Chinese, the Moabite, they're both, you know, Shemitic people. So they can say something about, you know, the lineage and what's going on and all of that, because they're Shemitic. We just ran down the line and I just showed you that. You know, so it's not just one group of people that's Shemitic, as the devils want you to believe. No, there's lots of group of people that come from the line of Shem. That's why they shouldn't have called it on Shem. They should have called it on Jacob, because that's what really cuts off these other nations from claiming the birthright, because the birthright was handed from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob. That's why Yahushua calls it himself the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. When it comes to Jacob, it cuts out all, it makes it, you know, it puts it down on a specific nation of people he's dealing with. And we're going to get to that. So right there, to show some more Shemitic people. I showed those nations that are here. They can say something because they're Shemitic. That's why I say Esau really dumb, because you should have called it on Israelite. But he don't want to do that because they know they're not really them people. So let's bump on down to Genesis 21 and 1. Because now we're going to get to the promised seed's birth. You know, Sarah's name is turned into Sarah, just like Abraham's name changed. So here we go in Genesis 21 and 1. And the Lord visited Sarah as he had said. The Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age at the set time for which Yahweh had spoken to him. Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, who Sarah bare to him, Isaac. Very important figure in Isaac, because if you can receive it, Isaac is our Lord and Savior, Yahushua, also in that flesh. Because Isaac had power. He gave 2 blessings to 2 sons he bare, and both of those blessings came true. When I first came into the church, I used to wonder, like, how was Isaac able to give somebody a blessing to come true like that? Who was Isaac? Why did he have those abilities? You know, and then, you know, when I found Great Millstone and really like Watch for Israel, I learned that. You know, them brothers, I did get the edification during that time I studied on them. And it made all the sense in the world. Because he tell you I'm the root. You know, what's that? I want to say Matthew 1 and 1. He says, how shall I tell you who he was in the flesh? So he just gave birth to Isaac. Let me see. I think that's Matthew 1 and 1. Let's get that for edification purposes. Because now it's a precept that lets you know who that was. And check it out. It says the book of generation of Yahushua Mashiach, the son of David and the son of Abraham. Woo, you peep that. Who's the son of Abraham? We just seen it. It's Isaac. So Yahushua's letting you know who he was in the regeneration. And who was the son of David? It was King Solomon. That's why he was able to ask for wisdom and talk to Yahweh so freely like that, because that was him in the regeneration. That's why I say our Bible is big. And Lord willing, I'm going to do a lesson on reincarnation, regeneration, because you need to know, have that understanding to understand the Bible. So Yahushua just told you that he was Isaac. So now it makes sense when he gave those blessings to those 2 sons, which we're going to get to, why they happened like that. Because, you know, I can say, I bless my son with this and this and that, and, you know, nothing might not pop off like that. I ain't got that type of power. You know, I'm just a little servant. But Isaac had that power. When he gave blessing to his sons, it came true. So let's go back to Genesis. I think I might be done with that. But I just want to show that Yahushua told you who he was in the regeneration. You know, he said, I'm the son of David and the son of Abraham. He told you he was Isaac. He told you that in Matthew. So back to Genesis. And that understanding is very crucial. And it answers the question. I had that question. I first was reading the scriptures. I'm like, well, who the heck? How did Isaac get that type of power? You know, Lot didn't get that. Everybody, how did Isaac get that type of power? That's a good question I had when I was first running through the scriptures. So we got Isaac being born. Very another historical figure. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So now we got Isaac. Now we're going to read. Let's go to Genesis 24 and 67. Because then we're going to read about Isaac and him getting his wife. And let's check it out. This Genesis 24 and 67. Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, that's his wife, and she became his wife, and he loved her. And Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. So we got Isaac's wife. You know, we got that on the forefront. So let's go down to $25. Let's go to Genesis 25 and 21. We're going to have another, really 2 historic people being born at this time. And check it out. It says, Isaac entreated the Lord, Yahweh Shah, for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord, Yahweh Shah, was entreated in him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it so be, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, Yahweh Shah. And the Lord, Yahweh Shah, said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. Peep that. 2 nations are in thy womb. So these are 2 separate people. They brothers, but they're going to represent 2 different nations. And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And the elder shall serve the younger. Did you hear that? That shows why we're physically stronger than Edomites. We're mentally stronger than Edomites. And we're spiritually stronger than Edomites. Because it said that one people should be stronger than the other. And we definitely are stronger than them. Esau can't deal with nothing we can deal with. You know, and it said the elder should serve the younger. Right now, you know, that hasn't happened yet. See, that you hear that prophecy said the elder should serve the younger. We patiently waiting on that to happen. Right now, the younger has been serving the elder. So check it out. And it said, when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Esau right there is the progenitor of all the so-called white man, you know, the nations. The so-called white man's progenitor, forefather is Esau. He came out all red. Now, what do you call a country so-called white person? A redneck. And they are red. And that's who they are. They don't want you to know they're Edomites. They're Edomites. The Lord hates them. He tells you in the book, Malachi 1 and 2, Romans 9 and 13, I hate Esau. So they don't want to be Esau because the Lord hates them. So there go their forefather being born. And it says, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. Yeah, we on your heel, Esau. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when she bare them. Our forefather is Jacob. Now the prophecy has been fulfilled because now Jacob has been born. He said, I'm the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. You know, now like when you say Jacob, Israel, it cuts off all the other nations. And it shows that Esau, yeah, he's Shemitic. Esau's Shemitic because he came from what? He came from Isaac. We're Shemitic as well. We come from Isaac. But see, it ain't about being Shemitic. It's about being Jacob Israel because the blessing rolls through Jacob. That's what it's about right there. And the devils don't want to, you know, they don't want to handle that with these scriptures because they're going to get cut up. And they're going to figure out that they not the people. So check it out. It said, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Check it out. It said, cunning hunter, man of the field. Who love to hunt for sport? Who love to kill? Esau. You going to a outdoor store where there's lots of tents and bow and arrows and guns and deer stuff. You going to see nothing mostly but Edomites. That's their thing. You know, they still eat they meat raw like their forefather. Like the Bible clearly lays out who they are. And they're still like that to this day. They wear camouflage even they ain't even hunting. They wear camouflage as a statement. Let you know they the man of the woods, the cunning hunter. So check it out. They said Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, which venison is deer meat. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob saw pottage. He cooking. That's why a lot of our women used to be able to cook real good. You know, they used to be their thing, man. That's Jake's thing, period. You know, Jake throw the best barbecue. You know, we the best cookers on the face of the planet. It showed. Our forefather, that's our forte. You know, so there you go in the scriptures, man. Can't nobody barbecue like Jake. You know, and we like to chill. If Jake is in his natural state, we like to chill and we like, you know, eat and make children, make babies, man. That's our thing, man. If we get to our essence. You know, they put all that nigga stuff in us now, but Jake in his essence, man, we like to chill, eat some good food, and hop in our old ladies. Just like our forefather did. That's us. You know? I love that. So they said, like I said, and Jacob saw pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I'm faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. So he went from Esau to Edom because he ate some red raw meat because it wasn't done yet. Like, that's what got fast food. Esau can't wait. Esau's not patient. He didn't care if the meat was raw. He didn't care if it wasn't ready. So check it out. Let's go to... Now, let me finish that off. Yeah, Edom. I got more on that. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Esau said, behold, I'm at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. And Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So they all, you sold the birthright. No, you sold it, man. You sold it for some raw meat. What was that? Raw meat, some bread and some lentils. You know, so you sold it because you're a fool. Your forefather was a fool. My forefather was smart. My forefather was wise because the birthright, usually goes to the elder. But this elder was stupid. So he sold his birthright for some uncooked meat to the younger, and that's how we got our birthright, man. Our forefather was smart. Man, he straight, hey, he got it for us, man. That was wisdom. That showed our forefather was intelligent, which you see that with our people to this day. He was like, man, you want this food, send me your birthright. And he did it. He despised it, like Tripp said. Esau despised his birthright. And see, now these devils are realizing what had happened, and they're trying to fight for the birthright, because the birthright is the keys to the kingdom of heaven. That's who's going to rule in the kingdom of heaven. We just got it. I just read right there how we got the birthright. We got it through our forefathers having wisdom and him cooking some food. And he gave it to the devil, and the devil got it for some red meat. And the Most High said, you should be called Edom, you dang red fool. So that's how we got the blessing, So I just wanted to run through that, because then you can read through how, it plays out. Isaac and Jacob, they fight the whole time. Esau tries to despise and kill, Jacob, our forefather. But that's how we got the birthright. You can read all how to do it. I just want to do a quick genealogy on the rundown to show who's Shemitic, who's not. There's a lot of nations that's Shemitic. That's why those fools, because you see Esau's a fool, they shouldn't have put it on the Shemitic thing, because there's a lot of nations that are Shemitic. It's not about being Shemitic. It's about being Jacob, being Israel. That's what it's about right there. And they sold their birthright. They didn't know how important that was. Because here go the blessings we was handing out. When you go to Genesis 27:28, on 27 and 26, because he started crying about he didn't have a birthright. So what Isaac blessed him with, I'm going to read it. This is Genesis 27 and 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. And he said, came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is at the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. He said, therefore Yahweh will give thee of the dew of the heaven, the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth he. And I think, hold up, I think this is when he was given the blessing. And Jacob, his mother and them had dressed him up like Esau, and he gave a blessing to him that, that was supposed to go to Esau. Yep, and it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, Esau his brother came in from his hunting. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father rise and eat of his son's venison, that their soul may be blessed me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. So he already sold it. So this scenario right here didn't matter, because he already sold his birthright to his brother. This is just to play out to show that, when he really physically came in and gave the blessing to Jacob, which he used some wisdom on that. So let me get to, there we go. Genesis 27 and 39. This is the blessing to Esau. Check it out on 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept, crying. And Isaac his father answered, said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of the heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke, his yoke, from off thy neck. And it says Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of my mourning for my father at hand, then will I say my brother Jacob. So he plotted, just like Esau always plots on us, to, spill our blood. So he got blessed with the sword. He should live by a sword. Esau does live by a sword. He gets everything by, what did it say? Kill, steal, and destroy. By that sword, war. So Esau got everything he got, you know? And then like Isaac had blessed him, which is our Lord Yahushua, said that he would get the fatness of the earth. Fatness goes to the good parts. Esau got that. But here go the blessing or the kicker. This is what Esau's trying to offset. He said, when thou shalt have dominion, Esau has dominion right now, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. We the only people that had yokes of iron on our neck. Now it's getting broke off. Now we're about to get dominion. Esau know that. So he's trying to offset the blessing that we've been blessed with, and he's not going to offset that. We're going to get it. That's why it goes into having the blessing of Jacob, Israel. I want to see where I want to get to. I might want to get where you wrestle with that angel, and his name changed to Israel. That's what he got his wives. Because he wrestled with an angel. And then his name changed into Israel. Might punch it in. I'm about done with the lesson. I just want to do a quick genealogy, show you who's Shemitic, who's not, give you the quick rundown on who come from who. And there you go. I'm at it. This is Genesis 32 and 28. I'm going to start at 27. And he said unto him, what is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thy power with Yahweh and with men, and has prevailed. Woo, you hear that? So his name changed from Jacob to Israel in Genesis 32 and 28. Because he's a prince of the power and he prevailed. And we are that. We are Israelites. We get that blessing. That blessing passed down. It was given to Abraham. It passed down to Isaac. And Isaac passed that blessing down to Jacob. And Israel had 12 sons. That's how you get 12 tribes. And here we are to this day, getting ready to receive that blessing from Yahweh Shah. So that is very big, profound. I hope this has been edifying. I hope you learned something from the quick genealogy rundown. And I want to say, Kwam Yasharallah, detail about Shalom.